CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, September 11th, 2015, the 14th anniversary of the terror attacks in the United States. Next week, we will be broadcasting from Monte Carlo, where we will be attending the annual reinsurance rendezvous. We'll be attempting to get interviews as we go along. However, please bear with us. It's a bit of a stretch for us technically, and we will do our best to bring a normal quality broadcast to this show. Apparently, somebody has not received the memo from Warren Buffett and Ajit Jain that reinsurance is no longer profitable. The Italian insurance company Unipol Group has launched a new reinsurer in Dublin. It's targeting property and casualty business in continental Europe. It's going to be capitalized with assets of more than 500 million euros. It's going to be offering tailored reinsurance coverage to small and medium-sized insurance companies throughout the continent, I should say. The CEO of the company said that this is our parent group's first venture outside of Italy. It represents an historic moment for the company. He said, our clients will be working with us with the confidence that we are owned by a very large financial group with very deep pockets should abnormal claims arise. He also said that our return on equity requirements are very different to most other comparable reinsurers. We are seeking only single-digit returns, well below the much higher expectations of most of the market players. This is interesting because, of course, the Italian group Exor, with John Elkann, with the Agnelli family, has purchased Partner Re for exactly this purpose, and these words could just about have been said by him as well. Lloyd syndicate news is big this morning. The Barbican managing agency has approved an agreement in principle that it's going to operate a syndicate completely on behalf of Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse is going to fund the entity with stamp capacity of about 90 million pounds. It's going to be an ILS reinsurance entity, much like Nephila has done with their own syndicate. So this once again indicates that Lloyd's is very, very attuned to the new influx of capital coming in and are doing anything they can do to pave the way for it. More updates on the British Air explosion of the engine in Las Vegas the other day. It apparently now seems that jet engine parts that were found on the runway indicate a rare catastrophic failure. Early findings show that the failure occurred where the engine was under the highest pressure, although it's not really clear what caused it. One analyst said you don't really see catastrophic or uncontained engine failure like this very often. He said that the failure of the engine indicated that parts had sliced through the engine casing. The National Transportation Safety Board said there was damage to the armored shell around the left engine's high-pressure compressor, and several 7 to 8 inch fragments of this compressor were found on the tarmac. No one was seriously injured when the incident occurred. General Electric is at the McCarran International Airport in force. They are the makers of the engine. On Thursday morning, there was a 4.8 magnitude earthquake that rocked Trinidad and Tobago, islands of Venezuela. Some have actually put the quake as high as 5.1. There were a number of aftershocks between 3.8 and 4.1 on the Richter scale. There were no reports of any damage or injuries. An official in the Czech Republic says that a huge explosion of gunpowder in an ammunition factory has injured 2 workers. Authorities say that a blaze broke out after the explosion of 353 tons of gunpowder in the Polski Strojny factory located about 95 miles east of Prague. The blast was so strong that heavy bits of metal machinery were thrown 600 feet away into a nearby forest. A slick of rice wine spilled from a truck in China, causing a traffic accident earlier today that killed 12 people. A bus following the truck that was carrying the rice wine overturned on a slippery road, and another freight truck then crashed into the bus shortly after midnight. 9 people were killed at the scene, 3 more died in the hospital. The accident took place in Xinjiang in the province of Henan on the Daqing-Guangzhou expressway. This is September 11th, and observances are in progress in the United States on this 14th anniversary of the terror attacks. The reading of the names of those killed in the World Trade Center are being read now in Lower Manhattan. President Obama observed a moment of silence in the Rose Garden of the White House and is going to the National Security Agency at Fort Meade, Maryland for a ceremony honoring service people. On American cable TV stations and news stations, they are playing the exact raw taped footage from that day of 14 years ago. So the horror is being relived once again by everybody who can remember it. That's the news for today. Have a good weekend. God willing, we'll be reporting to you from Monaco on Monday morning.